This is WFYI News Now. It's September 18th, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, Indianapolis's northeast side has new affordable housing. Governor Mike Braun could call lawmakers back for a special session on redistricting. And a genetic genealogy group helps the Hamilton County Coroner identify thousands of bone fragments.
That's huge, to have these folks, that want to put the work in. And this investigation is expensive.
Those stories coming up, but first. IndyGo asks for public feedback about its services through its second annual Customer Perception Survey, launched earlier this week. Following the approval of increased fares last month, some riders expressed discontent with the quick timeline of the change and hope for necessary improvements to be made to the current bus system. Riders can participate in the new anonymous survey to provide their thoughts and ideas. It is open and available online and in person at the Julia M. Carson Transit Center until Saturday, September 20th. All participants who choose to provide their contact information will receive a reloadable MyKey card with $4 of transit value, transferable to an existing MyKey account. Work is complete on an affordable housing complex on Indianapolis's northeast side. Jeremy Rubin has more.
The 46 flats provides housing to people making between 50 and 60% of the area's median income. Rent is guaranteed to not exceed a third of what each family makes. An affordability period developers say will last 40 years. Matt Gaddis, a leader at House Investments, which partnered on the project, says all units were filled within 5 months.
Yeah, so I think it's evident to show that there's a housing need, especially for affordable housing here in Indianapolis, based on our lease up here. It's a testament to our on-site team, but also just the sheer need for additional affordable housing units.
The site was an abandoned office park until plans for this development began in 2017. Officials say they hope it can be used as a template for future urban developments. I'm Jeremy Rubin.
Governor Mike Braun suggested this week that Indiana lawmakers could return to a special session in November to redraw congressional boundaries. Redistricting normally happens every 10 years after the census, but President Trump wants to do it now to lock in more Republican seats. Republicans in Indiana already hold 7 out of the state's 9 congressional seats. Indiana Democrats are opposed to changing districts. Today, former U.S. Transportation Secretary and South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg will speak at a state house rally against the effort. And for our final story today, thousands of fragments of human remains are still unidentified decades after a suspected Indiana serial killer died by suicide. Jill Sheridan reports the local coroner will now get help from a genetic genealogy group to bring closure to families.
It's unknown how many people Herb Baumeister killed. When he was identified as a prime suspect in a series of murders in 1999, he fled the country and shot himself. Hamilton County Coroner Jeff Jellison reopened the case in 2022 with the goal to identify thousands of bone fragments found in the woods behind Fox Hollow Farms in Westfield. He says the original investigation was inadequate.
When Herb Baumeister killed himself and they identified those 8 people, knowing that they still had 10,000 remains left to identify, law enforcement and the coroner just stopped.
The fragments, reportedly the most unidentified remains second only to the World Trade Center site, sat in a closet at the University of Indianapolis for decades. Jellison's office has positively identified 2 more people, and he now has help through a new partnership. Genies, an investigative genetic genealogy company, will provide services to Hamilton County at no cost.
That's huge, to have these folks, that want to put the work in. And this investigation is expensive.
Forensic investigative genetic genealogy is an emerging science. It combines advanced DNA analysis with traditional genealogical research to solve crimes and identify human remains by linking DNA to family trees. Jellison says the work is made more difficult by the passage of time.
The mom and dads have passed. We're dealing with brothers or sisters, if they had any, and in some cases even cousins. And these people now are spread out all over the United States.
Indiana has a statutory obligation that requires a coroner to identify remains. I'm Jill Sheridan.
That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Zach Bundy with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.